So hello all developers, hello all aspirants, each and every viewer out there and each and every person who's looking forward to become a data scientist. Welcome to another session with me, Varun, on TechTablet. And for all those of you who are looking forward to get into this module, well, let me just tell you guys, there are a lot of subjects or there are a lot of topics that come under this module or under this branch of technology, which is data science, right? So in this specific video, we would be focusing on artificial intelligence, which is the second video or which is the second part of the interview series. And if in case you've liked my videos, you can follow me on my Facebook or on my Instagram on the IDs mentioned below. If it's Insta, it would be varunrao_gemini, and if it is Facebook, it would be varunrao_gemini at yahoo.com. Just to make sure, just to let you all know that it's me behind the camera. Well, guys, here it goes. I have an SAP experience of around 4 years, and over the last 1 year, I've been pursuing data science. And talking about SAP, I've worked for SAP ABAP, OData, HTML, XML, CSS3, JSON, which is also all these together would make SAP ABAP and UI5. So it's only ABAP and UI5. They're just an elaborated explanation of what UI5 is. And currently, as said, I am on preliminary stages of understanding IoT, AI, Python, machine learning, deep learning for data science, or Leonardo. I'm not sure where this would take me, but yes, one of those areas, right? So I don't think I'm required any longer here. Let's leave that space for question and answers, right? So heading forward to the first question, guys, okay, even before we head to the question, let us understand the agenda first. So it would be to look at some interview question answers, definitely, which would be of technical in nature. It is to understand the future as a data scientist and how do you answer in an interview, right? So we look at these questions in a reverse manner, that is 3, 2, 1, and then we'll go into the question. So talking about the very first thing, that is, how do you answer in an interview, guys? So being very honest, to answer in an interview is not a trick. To answer in an interview is, or it rather reflects your sincerity, it reflects your preparation, and it reflects how well prepared you are to attend this interview, or probably how well deserving you are for that position, right? Now, when you keep all these parameters in mind, you definitely would not answer what comes to your mouth. Rather, you would think, articulate, and then you would want to give an answer. Now, talking about how you answer in an interview, at least restricting the subject to data science and keeping the discussion purely technical, you have to understand what is it that you're talking about, A, and B, you cannot lose the relativity or the relative subject to context reference, right? Whenever you're talking about artificial intelligence, you cannot try to bring in IoT, machine learning, deep learning, all that. Though they are a very integral part of it, the question has to be to the point. Now, when he's asking you an explanation of Nalve Bayes, for example, let us suppose, you cannot give him an answer of where Nalve Bayes is used. You've got to tell him what is Nalve Bayes and where exactly it is used and why is it used there. Only these 3 questions would answer that. Rather, you tell them where Nalve Bayes is not used, or you try to convince them that you know Nalve Bayes. This would not work in an interview, right? And talking about your future as a data scientist, guys, trust me, future is brilliant, but then you got to be good with your concepts. You got to be good with your, with your stuff. So I would suggest that you take your time, get your practice done, understand the intensity or understand the depth that this branch of technology requires, and then take a step towards becoming a data scientist. Yeah, so now let us look at some questions that I have here for us, some questions of very basic genre, and then as we keep going further in the upcoming videos, we would be increasing the complexity of the videos. So now to talk about some applications of artificial intelligence, you have NLP, which is natural language processing. We all know about chatbots. Chatbots need no introduction. Sentiment analysis, sales prediction, self-driving cars, facial expression recognition, and image tagging. So all these are some basic applications of artificial intelligence. In this, when you talk about NLP or chatbots or sentiment analysis, all of these do work not only with machine learning. You have different set of algorithms. Now, even in machine learning, you have supervised learning and unsupervised learning, right? So all these are different examples of different variants of machine learning and deep learning, because when you talk about a self-driving car, you cannot just restrict the topic to basic machine learning. All right. Yeah. So going forward, name few machine learning algorithms that you know. So the first one is logistic regression, linear regression, decision trees, support vector machines, Naive, Bayes, random forest. You have a lot. Okay. So when I say etc., you can just go into random forest. You can also talk about text analytics. All these are machine learning algorithms only. Okay, and also natural language processing. So these are different variants or different algorithms that you have for different machine learning techniques that you want to achieve. The third one is what is Naive Bayes, right? So this is what I was giving you an example about. I don't know now if it's a coincidence that we have it in the same same slide. So yeah, to talk about Naive Bayes, guys, here it's written Naive Bayes machine learning is a powerful algorithm for predictive modeling, right? And further, it is a set of algorithms with common principle based on Bayes theorem. And the fundamental Bayes theorem assumption is that each feature makes independent and equal contribution to the outcome. Sounds pretty confusing, right? That's exactly what my feeling was when I went through this statement, or when I, gave it a first reading. But then it's pretty easy. You just got to understand this. Firstly, Naive Bayes is used for classification. Okay. Now, secondly, we have a common doubt. Why is the word naive used? Okay. Now, when you come onto this question, we just have to understand that it is because it makes an assumption that may or may not turn out to be correct. It's not always true that the outcome is 100% correct. Okay. Now, why is it used for in the first place? Now, it is a classification technique with an assumption wherein you have independence among predictors. Now, keeping things very simple, it assumes that presence of a particular feature in a class is totally unrelated to the presence of any other feature. Now, why do we use this, or where is Naive Bayes used? It is used to understand NLP, which is the natural language processing problems, and it is basically used to also find the probability of different theories. For example, we use this in let us say customer review. Now, let us say you want to understand the customer review. In that case, you can use Naive Bayes. So this is what is something that we should understand from what is Naive Bayes algorithm. The fourth one is what are components of relational evaluation techniques. So here you have data acquisition, ground truth acquisition, cross-validation techniques, query type, scoring metric, and significance test. We look at what each of this is in the upcoming video, because each of this is a separate topic accordingly, right? So the fifth one that we have is what is the difference between a strong and a weak artificial intelligence. Now, when you talk about a strong artificial intelligence, right, it's firstly widely applied. It's not, when we say widely applied, it's not closed down to a topic. The second point is it has incredible human level intelligence. The third one is it uses clustering and association to process data, which means unsupervised learning is followed here, right? And it's exactly the opposite for a weak AI. Weak AIs are basically meant for one good task, and the scope is very limited. And for example, Siri, Alexa, they're all weak artificial intelligences, right? So the sixth one is what is a hash table? Now, this is a question that most of the people from technical background should be knowing by now. But still, a hash table is a data structure that is used to produce an associative array, which is mostly used for database indexing. Well, it's literally as simple as that. Now, why do we use this? It's basically to give the data an association from the basket. All right, there's a huge basket available of options. Now, it's up to you to choose which one of these is something that you want. All right, or it's not something that you want. It is something that the system would map onto, right? It would map onto the desired value or the desired slot. This is how you can understand this. The seventh one is what is an expert system and characteristics of an expert system. Well, an artificial intelligence program, when you talk about being an expert level knowledge gathered and implementing system, it means that it is almost at par with human level intelligence. In that case, it should be reliable, it should have good or fast response time, it should be understandable and understood, and also it should have high performance. The eighth one that we have is what are the different TensorFlow objects available. You have constants, you have variables, placeholders, graphs, sessions, all these are different TensorFlow objects available. This is a very basic ground level question. The 10th one is how do you select important variables in a data set? So there are three ways to do it: Lasso Regression method, random forest or plot variable importance chart, and also linear regression. Now, when you talk about regression or random forest method, basically these are different ways of eliminating the ones which are not important, which is what the question is asking. The 10th one is what are the advantages of neural networks? Well, they require less formal statistical training. They have a very good ability to detect non-linear relationships with certain variables. They detect all possible interactions with predictor variables, and they have availability of multiple training variables. So because of multiple training variables, you would be able to check your data set with multiple in multiple conditions with multiple frequencies, and then you would be able to come on to a conclusion wherein the data or wherein the output is best suited or is the most accurate according to the requirement, right? So these are the 10 questions that I have for you guys in this set of videos. So I really hope that you enjoyed watching, and also if you did, please hit the like button to let us know that you enjoyed watching, and also to let us know that you like the video. And also, if you feel that this might be useful for any of your friends who is preparing for data science, then please do share the video immediately. And if you feel that there is anything missing, or if you feel that there is any more value that you can add to any of the answers, please use the comment section below. In the upcoming video, we will be looking at some more in-depth of understanding artificial intelligence and IoT and deep learning and machine learning, and we will be looking at different interview questions and also development procedures. Till then, keep enjoying, stay tuned, and all the best. Happy coding, happy growing. This is me, Varun, logging off with an expectation to see you in the upcoming video.